Toronto. Today we are meeting with Karina Brown and Jess Harlen. Welcome to the LOTL stream today.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Really nice to have you here. I believe you have a great announcement to make. You are launching your first, or for Karina, song, She's Got Confidence, and I'm really excited that you're on the show today. I wanted to chat a little bit about it, how the song came about and how an ex-footballer and a musician made a decision to do so.
Yeah, well, we actually met about a year ago, just through a mutual friend, and the mutual friend thought we would be good friends because I have a love for music and poetry, and that's exactly what Jess does. And I'm not sure why she thought that you would like me, because Jess has never had anything to do with football.
Who doesn't like a world champion though?
Thank you. So yeah, we just we met and forged a great relationship, and never had any plans on writing music together, as I'm not actually a musician, but it just sort of unfolded during COVID last year. So here we are, and it finally arrived, the day of the song. We're super pumped for it.
I mean, this is so amazing that the song is very much about, for me anyway, and I think that's what you wanted to achieve, is that, from what I understand, reading the lyrics, is about creating role models and role models in Australian sport, role models in Australian music. Mm-hmm. And both of you have done so over the years. And Karina, you obviously you're an NRL player and have been really outspoken and supportive of the LGBTQI plus community. Mm-hmm. Jess, you and LOTL go back a long time. We just, in the chat beforehand, we talked about how Jess many years ago was actually on the cover of LOTL. Here it is.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. And when was that, Jess? I can actually, do you roughly remember, was it around 12 years ago or something, or even longer?
Yeah, it would be like 2010-ish.
Right. So and I was so excited to see, two trailblazers to come together to create a song like this. And I guess what would be really nice, you had a little video done by Channel 7, and at this stage, why don't we play this to just show the viewer what this is all about?
Yeah.
It sure has. Out of her comfort zone and stepping into studio.
Look, I'm sitting here with a football because that's the only thing that's getting me through this right now. It's my security blanket.
Titans NRLW star Karina Brown now balancing league with lyrics. And next month will launch her debut single alongside ARIA nominated vocalist Jess Harlen.
Never did I think I'd be making a smash hit single with a rugby league player.
The anthem champions females and anyone to follow their dreams.
The Jillaroo sayings have been running our whole
campaign.
The catalyst, lockdown, and this Titans Instagram photo.
Look at all these young girls that now have strong female role models to look up to. When I was growing up, all I had was Xena Warrior Princess.
Like Xena, this Australian Jillaroo found her confidence with chords.
We also want to play it at the grand final.
We've got a lot. You know what? The sky's the limit. Why not?
Katie Brown, 7 News.
Great. That was a really good snapshot. And Karina, have you got any musical background at all? I mean, that would have been a big leap if you haven't, from sport to music.
Yeah, well, so my musical background is that I'm from a musical family. So my mum and my uncles and my aunties, they all were either in bands or, just playing music all the time. My other uncle was in the opera. So I was just surrounded by music from day one, basically. And even though I didn't play an instrument, or I did sing, but it was poorly. I just, every weekend I was, at these gigs and just loved the music and how it made me feel. I didn't realize how many musical ideas I was actually absorbing, you know, through that time. But they all came out when, you know, through Jess, really, who nurtured all the ideas.
So, Jess, are you playing footy now? Well, it's a give and take, isn't it?
Do you know, when I do just my simple physio exercises and I roll out on the foam roller, I always look up at you and go, I don't know how you do what you do. Like, this is painful enough. So
Wow.
I know you will not catch me out on a footy field.
Yeah.
I have taken her for a kick, though, and she was very good.
Thanks.
Oh, well, there
And
you
sometimes
go.
I bring her along for my runs, and she handles herself quite well.
Yeah, I do 30% of what you do.
So there's still a chance.
There's still a chance. Well, keep us up to date. No, I just love it how, Karina, you seem to have taken, you know, Jess on in regards of like following or working with her on your creativity that you probably haven't really, I don't know, discovered or developed, I think is probably the better word. And it's really nice to see that you actually have been courageous enough to do so, because it is, I think, very courageous playing footy and going into the studio are two entirely different things. So pretty amazing. So Jess, how was it to work with a with an athlete?
Yeah, I found it really interesting because at first we didn't realize that Karina had been harboring all these brilliant ideas. It was just a sort of a fun thing. Let's just write a song because there was nothing else to do during lockdown. And then next minute it sort of became really good really quickly. And then I wanted to treat it how I normally treat songs that I think have potential, and we started recording and producing it. But then I think what was interesting about working with a non-musician and translating their musical ideas was the way that we had to learn how to communicate with each other, and the way that Karina would communicate her musical ideas without using a voice or an instrument and just using words to describe it, and then me trying to turn that into music and play it. So we had a lot of fun learning how to communicate that way. But what else?
I think, like, you're right, it does take a lot of courage to step on a football field, and it is worlds apart and, you know, doing music, but I just had to harbour the courage that I would normally use and put it into a different direction. But Jess made it really easy for me because she nurtured all my ideas. You know, not one time did she put down any of my ideas, even if it ended up being silly. For example, we wanted some sort of like a weird noise, and we thought we could get the noise through playing kazoo. You know, the kazoo game? It's just really bizarre noise. And I was like, oh, what if we try that? I think Jess thought it was going to be a disaster. And you know what? It actually was. But just her allowing me to explore that idea, which why the song is successful, because we got to put all ideas on the table, and then I could figure out for myself to go, oh, well, that's not actually good. Oh, no, that one works. What else can we do with that? So, it was great having Jess, and she's just so talented and so creative herself. I would literally come up with, you know, any ideas and she'd go bang and make it happen. I was like, you know how to do that.
Meanwhile, I was thinking, how did you think of that sound? It works really well. Like the sound you came up with, we were on a flight and we were missing this one texture the second time you hear the chorus drop, which is you want it to have an extra element but not really take away from the listener being familiar with the chorus. So we needed this texture in the background. And I had tried everything that a musician would try. And I was like, these ideas are so textbook and boring. We need something unusual. Enter rugby league player and came up with this sound that you described as a cowboy. I
don't know what, but I was sitting on a plane and I decided getting this vision of this like cowboy and then some sort of noise that this cowboy was making and trying to relay that. And then Jess just goes like this and spits out this trill noise. I'm like, that's it. Next minute, it was perfect.
Yeah, it just made the rest of the song click into place. And I was never going to come up with a cowboy sound, but you did.
Yeah.
And then I was able to just speak it for you. Yeah. We gave each other both a creative license to just try anything.
That is incredible. I mean, I guess, you know, any creative person would say that when you do something for a very long time, you do it your own way, in the way you've learned it. But if somebody entirely new, not in this area, comes in, they look at it in, it's and that's really productive, right? Because what you just described, you came up with a solution that just worked.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's what's been so refreshing about this collaboration, is that we're not from each other's worlds.
mm-hmm.
And we do come up with different ideas. And the other thing that was amazing about working with an athlete is your dedication to discipline and time management and ticking off the tasks, staying focused, laser sharp.
Yeah.
I am used to working with such creatives that sometimes those things aren't what we're focused on. We're sort of going off with our ideas. But Karina was really regimental about it, and like, oh, well, we need to finish the verse by him, the second verse by now. And then next minute it was mixed and mastered and remixed and remastered. And that's a very quick process.
I blame the Gillaroos. I blame Brad Donald and Karen Murphy. They always said, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late, basically. And that's just how I treated the project. So I was actually get a bit anxious, and if we weren't on a deadline, and Jess would be like, but we're not in the creative space right now. I'm like, we need to find it, because we've got deadlines to meet.
Yeah. So I was like, well, let me light a candle. Hang on a minute.
Well, hopefully, Karina, you don't learn any of the, let's call them bad traits from the artists, being it's okay to be late. That would go very well on the footy field.
Yeah, that would be bad. Yeah.
No, that would be bad. No, so the song is released today, and we're going to put a link into the comments. The artwork, let me just show it as well.
Nice.
Is absolutely beautiful. And did you both were involved in the creation of this of the artwork as well?
Yeah, well, you really took the reins on that, actually, with all your little apps. And we tried so many different ideas before we found that. We tried to show that we wanted to sort of like superimpose us over the background of perhaps two roads coming together, like women in music and women in sport, and coming to and then meeting us, in the middle. Or we wanted to try like a stadium in the background, because musicians play in stadiums and you perform in stadiums, play in stadiums. We tried so many different things, and shopping for our costumes was really difficult for that, getting some wardrobe. I feel like we spent more time searching for the wardrobe for that than we did writing the actual song.
I think so. But we wanted the perfect image, to portray me as an athlete and Jess as a musician. So that's how we ended up with just the coloured background and not sort of everything else, because we thought we could do it all just in ourselves. And
I love it.
We tried. It seemed like we were from different universes, and I mean we are. So we were just trying to find an image that we could look like we were separate but in the same universe.
No, it really
wonderful.
It portrays it. It portrays the confidence that the song talks about. It is really equal. I think if you would have had a stadium behind it, it would have been too focused on Karina. It's a neutral background, and the clothing is just indicates who you are. And so it's really great.
Karina didn't know she wasn't going to be wearing a shirt.
I don't take my shirt off. and I just got there, and I under the pressure I had to, but it does look really good. But I was really scared to do that, because that's not normally what I do.
You had to live the message of the song to create the artwork of the song and have confidence.
Yeah. And it was hard. But I had the football in there, and like the Channel 7 segment said, by having the football, all of a sudden I felt comfortable again. So that was good.
So we could get the abs out.
Yeah, it's fantastic how you gotten the support to start off with of Channel 7. I mean, Jess, you would know how hard it is to go into the mainstream media. And so can you tell us a little bit about the support that you had so far? I believe the NRL is supporting you. What other kind of support have you gotten from, within the music or within the sport field industry?
That's a really great question. And we can start by thanking Karina Brown. So Karina Brown works for Channel 7. She used to work for NRL. And I've known Katie for a long time. And when I showed her the song, straight away, she was like, yeah, I'm going to do something for you on Channel 7, and put together that wonderful piece. And I've just been really fortunate to have been in football for 12 years. I've made a lot of contacts along the way, and I have reached out to every single one of them. And it's really hard to sort of get a response back when everyone's living their lives and got things to do, but we've been really fortunate with a lot of support. So starting with the Channel 7 segment, and we've reached out to NRL. NRL.com are going to adopt it for some of the NRLW footage coming up, and we're tentatively booked in to play round 1 of the NRLW, which would be amazing. So hopefully we can lock that in very soon. And then, we'd love to come back and play the NRLW Grand Finals. So we'll just smash round 1 out. And
Titans.
The Titans are going to use it. I think they're making a video to release today or over the coming days. Who else?
We're really wanting to, well, that's another wonderful thing about being a musician working with such a successful athlete, is that you've really driven your contacts to get them on board and get the teams on board, all different teams, not just your own teams.
Yeah.
We want to reach out into other codes of sport as well. What else are we thinking? TikTok.
Yeah. We're hoping to we've got this it's just called 1 by 1. You'll see 1x1. 1 by 1 is a common line in the song, and it's about 1 by 1. There's champion female role models that are going to change the world. Ash Barty is a perfect example when she, won
Isn't
last
she?
week.
Yes.
I picture her as like, just another monumental moment for females in sport, but not just sport, just for females in general. And we really want She's Got Confidence to be the anthem for 2022 for all those big moments, around the world.
Yeah.
For women in sport, and also women in other arenas making changes.
Because I also think women in music. I mean, definitely women in music, and this is what I love about your partnership here, because women in music and women in sport is just something that really there is a lot of space to celebrate it more. And I mean, we've seen, you're absolutely right, Karina, but on the weekend with Ash, that was just amazing. And to just see what she's done and what she's done for tennis. When was it? 20 years ago, Cassie Freeman, same thing. It's just something. There are events you can remember where you were, type of thing, right? And I just love that. And I always find that women in music, there is just not enough there as well. I mean, I know that, I think it was Mardi Gras who tried to put on a festival, women in music, and it ended up not being that well supported because it's just so hard.
Yeah, if you look at the stats of women in music in the music industry, it's quite astounding how underrepresented we are. Which I think we get used to it, and you think, oh, but I can think of female musicians and female producers and female engineers. You can think of them, yes, but when you look at the stats, we are really just a small marginalized part of the music industry. Yeah, and that was one of the parallels we drew between women in music and women in sport. Yeah, and we're coming up with the lyrics for this is how many similarities there are in being. You have to be, that saying, twice as good to get half as much recognition.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, so the song is available today to be downloaded on Apple, Spotify. Where else can people download it? And they can just find it. She's Got Confidence.
Everywhere. We're doing this. We're distributing it independently through DistroKid, and they literally have boxes you can tick where you want to go on Amazon, on iTunes, on Apple Music. We ticked every box.
Yeah.
So it's out there. It will be out there.
No, fantastic. Well, best of luck with it. We really hope this is going really well, this song, and people share and download it. And obviously, we would hope there is something else in the works for you guys. Are you planning anything else right now you can share with us, or is that too early?
Oh, well,
We actually have a lot of half-done songs at the moment.
Mhm.
We just put them on pause so we could concentrate on this single. But yeah, absolutely, we had a great time making She's Got Confidence, and
Yeah.
I definitely want to keep making more and sending out powerful messages that really the world needs to hear.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the LOTL stream. And for all our viewers, just look up Karina Brown and Jess Harlen on social media as well, and follow them and see what else they might have in store for us in the future. Thank you for joining us today, and again, all the best for your song and the downloads and the launch today.